Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant. Over the past month and a half, the Pioneers Cooperative have spearheaded an attempt to colonize deep space. As such, a competition was launched to explore space to find a system that could perhaps be inhabited by humans. The competition has been very successful and seen a lot of entries. Recently, the votes for the first 30 systems went underway and we're now entering the final voting rounds. There are 10 candidates, of which 4 will be submitted to Frontier for a proposed community goal. Now, the Elite Dangerous galaxy is vast, and humans inhabit but a fraction of it. There are sites and locations out there that are vastly different to anything located within civilized space. Finding new frontiers and pushing the boundaries of what is possible is something that humans have done since the dawn of civilization, and creating a new colony closer to the galactic core is both tantalizing and very exciting. The creation of new stations is something that's very possible within the game, and at the moment a new community goal to create a station is underway in the starter system LHS 3447. The creation of a new area of civilization is something that is of immense value to all players from all walks of the game, from pirates to intrepid explorers, from traders to those seeking adventures on the new frontiers. The arrival of a space station in a system thousands of light years away from inhabited space would mark a bold new era for Elite Dangerous as humanity at last moves deeper into the galaxy. The Pioneers Cooperative is a loose-knit group of players from all walks of the game, from the lone individual to massive groups. Whilst their individual interests are massively different to each other, they do have one common goal, and that is to colonize deep space. Now, there is no intent from the Pioneers Cooperative to own any area of space. Their interest is very much in their title, a cooperative of players trying to expand the game in a way that suits everyone. And the desire to colonize deep space was very much born from this. Now, the Pioneers Cooperative has been in communication with Frontier over the idea of a proposed community goal. And whilst Frontier have not committed to anything, they have said they are open to the submission of community goal proposals from the Pioneers Cooperative and indeed anyone else. And this is where the idea of a competition came from, to locate some systems that could be submitted to Frontier so that they can have a choice of player chosen systems should Frontier decide to go ahead with a community goal. Now, even if Frontier do decide to go ahead with a community goal, there's no guarantee that they will choose one of the player submitted systems here, but it's a nice competition nonetheless. So let's take a quick look at the final 10 submissions. 4 of these, the 4 highest voted, will be going through to Frontier, and those 4 winners will also be winning the free choice of an ebook or a paint job from the Frontier store, kindly donated by Frontier themselves. Now, these submissions aren't in any particular order, so I'll just show them in the order they're listed on the forum poll. I don't want to show any bias toward any particular system here, so I won't talk about them individually. Instead, I'll just show them briefly here so you can get a quick overview. If you want more details, head on over to the forum thread below to take a closer look and perhaps vote on them. I did show these very briefly on my episode of 3302 yesterday, but that was fairly short, and really it was just to make everyone aware that there is a voting and the final stage of the competition going on. So here we can have a bit of a closer look and just get a feel of what deep space colonization may be like. The idea, of course, was to have a Earth-like in the system, along with a ring system that had pristine metallic rings there for resources. There was no limitation on the size of the systems here. Some of them have just a few planets in, and some of them have quite a lot indeed. The presence of a landable moon or landable planet is probably favourable to some people, and I'd imagine people would be voting according to that in some cases. I'd also be curious to see just how close some of these moons are to the ringed gas giant they're orbiting. Now, some of these pictures do show stations within them, and these are player added. Although there's no expectation on the community goal to have multiple stations within a system, it's a look toward the future, and maybe that could be another community goal at another date, adding some of these. Of course, at the moment, stations have to be added manually by Frontier, but eventually the idea will be that the background simulator would automatically allow for the expansion of civilization, as well as the construction of space stations and maybe even service ports at some point. Certainly, I seem to recall Michael Brooks, the executive producer for Elite, talking about the construction of surface ports as part of the automatic process for the background simulator. and maybe that could happen at some time in a not too distant future. All of these are located within a few thousand light years of the current inhabited space in the direction of Sagittarius A and the centre of the galaxy. The black hole there is a popular destination for players, so this would also make a good stop-off point as well as a good return point before heading back to civilization if players should so choose. So this is a very exciting prospect for the future of the game. Do head on over to the forum thread linked below and place your votes. The more votes, the better. I'm pretty certain that this is something that the community as a whole is very interested in, and if we can demonstrate that to Frontier, there's a good chance that perhaps such a community goal could well happen. Let's try and make it a reality. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.